And now we shall move on to our final segment, rooftops. This rooftop again is an Indonesian super mall, and the relevance of this particular shot is to actually show you the ponding on the roof. Very often membranes need to have a fall and need the water to fall away. Radcon is friendly to water, and the reason that this roof is flat is that as the tenants moved into their 3-storey building, they had future rights to build another 2 stories on top, and hence the reason one of the reasons for accepting the Radcon treatment and showing that any sort of permanent ponding will cause no damage whatsoever to the system. We like to put in high-profile jobs. We actually did the Wollongong Tax Office and the Hurstville Tax Office for our Australian taxpayers. And of course, these buildings are purely computer fortresses, and that gets about as high risk as you can get. That's the sort of structures that Radcon specified because the waterproofing is the most critical aspect of the actual construction based on its end use. Now, we bring this one in from Singapore. This is a 50,000 square metre site, because this building actually, it's not just the rooftops, it does represent an entire Radcrete system approach. It's the crystal growth admixture in the basement, it's the Radcon treatment to your garden areas, which the soil and plants are placed on top. It's your waterproofing in all of the water features, the swimming pools, the Roman bars and the spas. It's the primary waterproofing system for every one of the 600 units in their wet areas, their bathrooms, their kitchens. In fact, it's showing the multiplicity of use of the entire Radcon system, but again with our crystal growth approach to the basement area. So there we have 50,000 square metres of waterproofing and not a membrane in sight. This is probably one of the most prestigious developments in the city of Bangkok. And we enjoy displaying this one, again, not only for the use of Radcon, but the fact that the construction timetable is now into its 6th year, and each segment of the project, as we waterproof it, we issued new contracts to an ongoing basis to the finish of the actual project. This is the sort of risk factor that one can face with traditional membrane systems. In fact, this is a Radcon site at the Sentosa Medical Centre in Kuala Lumpur, and what we're seeing here is the Radcon waterproofing has been completed, and now the styrene insulation is being laid with a reinforced topping screed. Now, this is the sort of thing that happens, unfortunately, with traditional systems all too often. The applicator has done a perfect job, the membrane has been checked for water tightness, they come and do the screeding on top, the steel's laying into the membrane system, there's wheelbarrows, tools, etc. At the end of the day, when there's failure, well then the finger's pointed everywhere and unfortunately nowhere specifically. So this is one of the major headaches again that we're taking out, a totally damage-free system. Once we walk off site, you can do whatever you like with it without any worries of future failure. We like to look at our high-profile sites. Actually, this was done with Radcon 7. It's the Sultan of Brunei's private mosque, and actually what we're seeing here are not gold-plated tiles or gold leaf tiles, but solid 24-carat gold tiles over the Radcon system. And we're not adverse to high-profile and high-risk sites. In fact, this is a recently completed hotel project, Palace of the Golden Horses. These domes here have been hand-painted by Swiss artisans, and of course Radcon is the primary waterproofing system for the entire project, making up around about 20,000 square metres of podium deck, rooftops and water features. And of course this is the palace from a night shot from the lake, again showing the entry or forward vestibule area there, all Radcon waterproofed. Now, in recapping our key features on rooftops, most critically, Radcon handles high thermal stress. In fact, we have testing showing that Radcon treated crack can actually oscillate 0.4 of a millimetre without any failure to the actual system itself. Again, we stress very fast to apply, a very short downtime on sites because we can be in and out very quickly with a minimum of detailing work required. No mechanical damage fears after the actual application by other trades. Again, we're alleviating the needs of a protective screed or topping for UV protection. We are highly cost effective, very easy for fault finding too. I mean, when a roof is covered up with a membrane and water starts tracking, the problem can be often very difficult to find. Because our concrete has been maintained as exposed, if maybe there was a crack that didn't receive enough water or quite enough product, can be easily gone up to the individual problem and addressed on site with a minimum of cost and problem. And of course, again, we are inhibiting our freeze-thaw damage to concrete, and as always, an unlimited lifespan.